Several years ago, my father was involved in a very serious car accident. He almost lost his life. He was driving through a canyon where on the left side there are mountains, on the right side there's a river with very narrow roads. He bent down for just 1 second, and in that 1 second he went head-on into another vehicle. He was then ejected outside of the vehicle, flew down by the river, and was later found. He broke several parts of his back, he broke his neck, and he broke his legs. If he was wearing his seatbelt, many of these injuries could have been prevented. It took him almost a year to walk again, but he will never be the same. I thought that all people wore their seatbelts. Apparently I was wrong. I was shocked and heartbroken to hear that I almost lost my father because of something as simple as a seatbelt. A couple of days ago, I was sitting at work. I saw a cop parked on the side of the street, and a coworker drove down. I watched him sneak on his seatbelt because he was not wearing one. These are just some examples that show you that today people do not wear their seatbelts. I hope that after this I can persuade you guys to make it an automatic habit to just put on your seatbelt the minute that you get inside of the car. There are some states that have secondary seatbelt laws. According to the website of the Governor's Highway Safety Association, a secondary seatbelt law is a law that law enforcement officers may issue you a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt only when there is another citable traffic infraction. There are 17 states that currently have this secondary law. I feel that having the secondary law makes people think that it's not important to wear your seatbelt, when in all reality, it's very important, and it could save not only your life, but your loved ones as well. There are many excuses that people give to why they don't want to wear a seatbelt. They're not comfortable, I'm too cool, what if my car catches on fire and I can't get out? Several years ago, I myself was involved in a car accident. Back then, it wasn't super important to wear a seatbelt. I didn't wear mine. We were hit from behind. I was flown to the front seat, hit my head on the dashboard, was knocked out for a short amount of time. I, from then on, always wear my seatbelt. I was lucky enough to walk away with a small bump, but not everybody is as lucky. There are so many accidents that happen on a daily basis. They could happen a mile from your home. They can happen during the day, they can happen at night, they can happen at any time. David Dickinson, an author of Seatbelt Saves Lives, states that BC collision statistics strongly support the effectiveness of wearing seatbelts in reducing casualties. In 2004, nearly 80% of drivers involved in casualty collisions who did not wear their seatbelt were injured or killed, while just over 40% of those who did buckle up were injured or killed. Huge difference. The airbags in our car are not safety replacements. They do not always give us the protection that we need. We can easily be ejected out of the car, thrown into another car, out onto the street, just like what happened to my father. I would bet that if in a room I asked people how many of you have been in a car accident, more than half would raise up their hand. It is agreed that chances are, if you are buckled in, you have a much greater chance of preventing death or injuries. According to figures released last month by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, of the 2,081 people who died in a traffic accident across the state last year, 1,325, almost 64%, were not using their seatbelts. While I am here to tell you about the importance of wearing a seatbelt, I think it is necessary for me to tell you the proper way to wear a seatbelt. I feel that it's extremely important to have the proper restraints for children who are riding in a car, whether it be in a rear-facing, a forward-facing, which would be a booster seat. According to an article in the Buffalo News, the biggest problem with children's car seat is that the parents just don't use them properly. When properly used, the seats are 71% effective in preventing fatalities. According to the information from the Children's Hospital, 25% are not used properly. A lot of different hospitals, fire stations, police stations can make sure that your car seats are properly installed, so that way something like this doesn't happen to your child. My daughter, who is 7, she's not big enough to not use a car seat yet. She begs and cries that she doesn't want to wear one because her friends don't. She's embarrassed, but me, myself, think it's 100 more times important to have her safe than to be cool and not wear one. Most cars today come equipped with flashing lights or sounds the minute that you turn your car on. And I don't know about you, but these sounds drive me crazy. So at that point, I automatically put my seatbelt on and the noise goes away. So I'm going to share with you a short video on how to properly use a seatbelt.
Awesome. How to wear a seatbelt properly. Seatbelts save lives, but are you wearing yours the right way? Size up yours for a safe ride. You will need a seatbelt and knowledge of proper use. Optional, an aftermarket restraint or extender, and professional installation. Step 1. Sit in any of your vehicle's seats and secure the 3-point harness in its buckle by pulling it across your body. If the seatbelt is too short, consider an aftermarket restraint and extender. Make sure they meet federal safety standards and are installed professionally. Step 2. Adjust the lower belt snugly across your lap and pelvis area, never your stomach. Pregnant women should wear the lap belt below their belly, not on or above it. Step 3. Adjust the shoulder belt to fit comfortably across the collarbone and chest. It should never rub on your neck or face. Never put the shoulder belt behind your back or under your arm. Step 4. Check that the belt is secure before driving. Did you know New Hampshire is the only state without a seatbelt law?
I would also like to share a little more information with you. From an article from the Echo, released to tie in with Back Heroin Awareness Week, has found that over 1 in 10 drivers sit too far back from their seatbelt to offer the proper protection in a frontal crash. To be effective, the belt should be sitting over the bones of the pelvis and not the stomach. This prevents you from having internal injuries. And in contact with the shoulder to prevent serious neck injury. So you need to have it not directly up across, but more across your shoulder. Sitting too far from the belt can lead to submarining, which means you could easily slide under or slide out from it, where the occupant slips under and can cause catastrophic injuries. So it is important to tighten your seatbelt, make sure that it is placed properly. Today, I have told you about the importance of wearing a seatbelt and have showed you how to properly wear one. I hope that today, when you get into your car, you make sure that you and your passenger are safely buckled in so you can save your life and the life of your loved ones. Thank you.